awfully quiet.
At the end of a long day of saving the world and keeping everybody straight and knocking heads, what do you like to do for fun?
For fun, for relaxation, basically I like to read. I like to travel. I like to take long walks. I dabble a little bit in yoga, but I'm not into any of the fancy stuff. And I've just rediscovered some beading. I'd taken some classes some years back, but I've been serving as a mentor to a couple of little girls, and I decided that was one of the ways we were going to make connection, is we were going to actually sit down and bead. And so I've gotten back into it, and I'm enjoying it. So those are some of the things that I do.
Herman, do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I just wanted to know how high a priority on your list would be for campus safety on campus that you've been president of.
Campus safety is a must. We basically have to be very sure that we have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed. And if anything ever happens on our campus, it is too late. We need to be very proactive with regards to our student safety, and I think that that's providing the equipment that we need for video surveillance when we need it. It's making sure that we're staffed with regards to our police department or our campus security, whichever form that the community college is using. I think that it is essential that we do training with our students so that they do understand. It's not to scare them, but you need to be prepared in case something happens on campus. I think that we need to talk about what we would do in specific instances. My guess is that you already have a threat assessment committee that's been established. One of the things that I've seen with regards to students is I have seen that our students are changing, and I have seen really a very rapid acceleration with regards to students that we've had to remove from the learning environment until they could have a psychological evaluation. And the campus police office plays a pivotal role with regards to this. Campus police is not responsible for enforcing our policies. That's our job. But campus police is responsible for holding us accountable according to the law. But if we're not practicing safe models for our students to follow, look what kind of a microscope that the community college in Arizona has come under with regards to what happened with their student there and the complaints that they've received. And then, you know, I believe it was the dean, I'm not sure exactly what the title of the individual was, but that individual made the decision that it wasn't time for them to remove him from the learning environment. You know, those are all just very touchy situations, and so you have to plan what you're going to do. We recently did a tabletop exercise at Guilford Tech, and we had the emergency services group come in, and it was a shooter on campus. And what do you do? And so, you know, they walked us through, but they helped us to think about, if this happens, how are we going to react? What will we do? What will we say? What things do we have to have in place? And what things aren't in place now? So, campus security for our students, for our faculty, and for our staff can't be overlooked.
Mr. Bradford, you've been awful quiet.
He's retired.
What are your views with, say, for the first 6 months that you would be president of Stanley Community College, your involvement in the communities? What agencies would you like to be involved with?
I believe that those first 6 months of a presidency, the president needs to actually get out on the campus to meet the faculty and the staff, whether that's through informal, you know, conversations that happen on campus, or whether that's through forums where individuals are able to offer their opinions. I really want to know what's going on at the institution, because that's one of the tools that I use as I go out into the community to actually do the friend raising I was talking about. there is nothing that will help you in actually getting funds flowing into the institution than to be able to talk about what's happening day in and day out. We are changing people's lives. People are leaving here successful. They're transitioning into living wage occupations and careers. So that's part of the 6-month strategy. And then I told the Board of Trustees this morning that I would also like to have them help me in compiling a list of those individuals that I need to know in the community. And I'm going to reach out to the individuals in the county and actually make their acquaintance, start establishing those reciprocal working relationships. With regards to civic organizations, volunteer opportunities, I think that one of the things, and we did discuss this morning, is that when you come into a new community, there's always a lot of different groups that you are called upon to be a part of what they're doing. And so sometimes it's hard to make those choices. And so I'd be looking possibly to the Board of Trustees, other individuals, the Executive Council, to help me in figuring out, well, where are you and what are you already doing? Where do we already have an involvement? Because then maybe I'm a better fit over here with regards to this organization. Because it's not just my responsibility as president, even though I'm that poster child and I am that person basically that is the face of the institution, but it's all of our responsibility to be involved in our community. And so I think it's spreading that wealth around. There's no sense for 5 of us to all belong to the same Rotary Club when we can kind of divide that up because we all have that same message to give.
Jill?
Yes?
I don't know if GTP has a early college, high school or not, but we do here on campus. And how do you feel about that? And what would you do to help it grow? Or how would you come into that?
We do have early middle colleges at GTCC. We have 3 of them. We have one on the Greensboro, one on the High Point, and one on the Jamestown campus. And I think that it's extremely important to us because I think that's one of the ways that we establish those pipelines. They do have that 5th-year opportunity, but not all of the students actually graduate with a degree in that 5-year time frame. So there's still that possibility that they're going to come back and finish that degree with us. It is an interesting arrangement and an interesting scenario, and I think that one of the things that we can do in order to make the early middle college feel more at home is to do some of that outreach. But it's a tightrope walk because they're boisterous. Basically, some of them don't always have the maturity level that we'd like for them to have. They can be disruptive sometimes when other classes are going on. And so what we found that's worked for us a little bit is that we, while not isolate them, we've tried to give them some space that they can get some of that youthful exuberance out, and it's still not disturb the rest of what's happening at the college. We do allow, in some instances, the early middle college students to actually belong to our clubs on campus. Depends on what the club is. They're not part of our athletics or cheerleading or anything like that. But if we have a history club or a mathematics club or whatever the case might be, they are, with some guidelines, allowed to be part of that. But I think it's continuing to talk about it. I think that those conversations of the importance of really taking students who might not have graduated from a traditional high school and placing them in an environment where they can be successful. They feel that they're a fit. And I don't think that there's a better gift that you can actually give a high school student. And I think that we always need to keep that in the back of our minds because, you know, there are things that will come up with our early middle colleges. But you sit down and you listen to some of the testimonials during graduation ceremonies, and you know that you just wouldn't have it any other way. Because more likely than not, if the early middle college hadn't existed, this student would have dropped out. And, you know, now basically they have a scholarship to go to UNCG or wherever. So I think they're